Hello learners, welcome to SWAM online lecture series on the topic Database Management System. I am Professor Mullah Bukhari. I am in the Department of Computer Science, Aligarh Muslim University since 1989. As an academician, I have experience of more than 34 years in the realm of technology and database management system. Today we will discuss about the mini project and the part 2. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about the mini project part 1. The mini project client information system. The today agenda is to create a mini project on the client information system using SQL Server. The structure of the project will be, first of all, you have to define a database, client information system, and then the front end will be HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript, and the programming language which I have used in mini project of Python. The table contain about the clients. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about the user interface or the client information, how you will develop a user interface, a client information, and creation of client table, how you will create a client tables, and the connection setups. I have discussed how you will set up a connections by using front end and the back end. Then the experiment setup. In the client table, I have used 6 attributes. The first is the client number. This is a primary key. It means by that we are able to access information about the client number and the client name, email, phone number, address, and the industry. You have to create a database by using create command. You have to create. Then we have developed a user interface schema of a client record. You can see on the screen like client number, client name in the screen. You can see this is called form. I have to interface form. I have developed only a layman. No need to for that. Only he has to no need to know about the command. Only the user can enter the value and then select the button. So here also, depending on the client number, client name, email, phone number, address, industry, when you will press a submit button, it will store that. Then also we have discussed about the schema of client inside database by using describe command. I already told you have to, for that you have to use a create command for the create database name, and then you have to write client, you have to write create clients, then you have to write client number, client varchar 10, client name varchar 225, varchar 255, comma, email varchar 255, phone number varchar 20, address varchar 255, comma, industry varchar 100, within parentheses you have to write. If you have created, then you want to see how you have created, you have to write describe clients. The DS client, when you will press, you can see like on the screen, field, types, null, key, default, extra. So you are able to 6 rows will be added. First is the client number, second is the client name, third is the email, phone number, address, and registry. In this way, we are able to make a schema for the client inside database. Then the connection of client tables and client interface. Connection setup you have to develop. Here is the two, front end and the back end. In the front end I have used Python. In the back end I have used SQL Server. Then experiment on the client interface. In the previous I have experiment out connections we have developed. Today we will discuss how you insert a client data through interface, not by command. So in the project, so we will discuss here code for insertion data from form to database. So here you have to write, same way you have to import mysql.connector. From mysql.connector, import error, you have to import error also. Then from Flask, you have to import Flask function, request and Johnsonify Then you have to write application is equal to Flask. Within parentheses, you have to write underscore, name and underscore. Then you have to define create connection. Within parentheses, you have to write host name, comma username, user's password and database name. You have to define. Then you have to write connection is equal to none. Then you have to try and catch the error. So here you have to type connection is equal to mysql.connector.connect. In this way we are able to import that. Then you have to, within parentheses, you have to write host is equal to host name. You have to define user's name. Then you have to enter password is equal to user's password. Then database is equal to database name. Then the parenthesis will be closed. Then you have to write print connection to MySQL database successfully. Then connection will be connected. If it is okay, if error will come, then the exception error as E. Then you can also print within parentheses F. In double quote you have to write the errors, and within curly bracket single quote you have to write E. The error what will come, it will display and occurred. When the error will occurred, it will display. If connection is successful, okay. If error will come, then so you have to create. In this way we are able to make a connection successful. Then the return connections. Then define execute query. Within bracket you have to write connection, comma query, comma data is equal to none. Then you have to make a loop like that. You have to develop a cursor is equal to connection dot cursor. Then you have to try if data cursor dot execute within bracket query comma data is there, it will go the loop. Else executor dot execute within query, then connection committed. In this way the loop will go and it will be connection will be committed by this command. Then you have to write a print command, printf. You can say a print within double quote you write query executed successfully. It means the query what you have given, it will be successful. Otherwise, except error as E, then print if the error within curly bracket single quote you have to write and the occurred. It means error will be displayed. If not successful, query will not successful, it will error. Then at the rate app.root within parenthesis / submit form, then parenthesis closed, method is equal to post. Here I have used the method post. Then submit form. The data is equal to request dot get JSON parenthesis closed. So data, the request will get from that, and the connection is equal to create connection. In the create connection, you have to define 4 things. Here the local host I have given, and for that root, and the password is SQL, and database is user. Already I have told you, you have to define a database users. So you have to here. So here till now you have connected. Then you want to insert data. In MySQL also you have to write insert on client, but here you have to write in double quote, you have to write insert query is equal to, in the double quote you have to insert into client master, name is client master, is equal to client number, comma client name, email, phone number, address, industry, parenthesis close. Then the values you have to write within parenthesis, you have to write %s, 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 comma %s, comma %s, and comma %s with the parenthesis close, and the code will be completed. Double code. It means the way, in this way you have to insert, you have to define here. Then you have to insert the value. How you will data? Insert data. Data will take from that. How? The data is equal to client number. The second data is equal to client name. Third data is equal to email. Fourth data is equal to phone number. Fifth data is address. Sixth data is the industry, and then it is closed. In this way, it will take the data. You can insert that. Execute query, connection, insert query, comma, insert data. In this way, we are able to execute the query. Then connection closed. In this way, we are able to insert value by using the form interface. Then the return Joснify message from submitted successful. If name is equal to main, then application dot run is equal to debug is equal to true. In this way, we are able to insert first value of via interface. So here till now I have discussed how you will write a programs for interface program. Here in the next slide you can see how you will insert first value via interface. Here in the client number, you can see on the screen like that the form will design. In the form number, client number, here you have to enter C001, client name MU Bukhari, email mubukhari@gmail.com, and the phone number is +91 844 91 27535. The address is 135 Main Street, Aligarh, India. Suppose. And then industry technology. When you will insert this value and when you will press the button key submit, then you are able to see on that screen like that, depending on the structure, that first it will create for client number C001, client name MU Bukhari, email mubukhari@gmail.com, phone number, and the address 135 Main Street, Aligarh, India, and the industry technology. Here by interface we are able to add information. No need to write every time the command. You have to no need to memorize the command. So in this way, I have used all the technologies in the database system for entering by data by interface. The insert a second value via interface. Same way, a form will be design form will display on the screen. Only the client name will be displayed on the screen. You can type here C002 and the client name John Dew, email johndew@example.com, phone number 55-123-4567. The address is 456 Oak Avenue, City, Country, and the industry is finance. In this way, you can insert, no bother about the command on the interface and the form. When you will enter and press the submit button, it will display like that. You can see result on the screen like that. Here you have added the one record before C001 MU Bukhari gmail.com, and then 135 Main Street, City, Aligarh, Technology, and you have entered second. The second row will display C002 John Dew at the rate example, and the phone number, the address 56 Oak Avenue, City, Country, and the finance. It will display on the screen. In database, you have to write show. Here, only you have to enter the value in the form and then press, automatically a record will be added in your database. Inserting third value via interface. So here on the screen you can see the form will be displayed. Client name, client number, client name, email, phone number, and address and the industry. In the client number, the third value, so I have given the C001, so C002, the client number is C003, client name is Alice Smith, email alicesmith.example.com, and the phone number and the address and the industry is a health care. In this way, we are able to insert the value, third value. When you press a submit button, so you can see on the screen, like you can see on the screen like that, third column will be added in the existing database. First was the MU Bukhari, second was the John, third is the Alice Smith@example.com, and the phone number is +1 555 -987 6543. The address is 789 Elm Street, City, Country, and the healthcare. In this way, we can add 3 values in the form by interface. That is called the front end, and the data will be stored in the back end. The next, you can see the inserting fourth and fifth value via interface. So here on the screen, you can see client number, client name, email, phone number, and address, and at the same screen will be displayed 2 form. In the screen, you can see 2 form I have added, because you have to add 5 records. So in the first, you have to add a name is C004 Muhammad Khan @ example.com, and then in the fifth we have added client number 005, client name Ilmi, and phone number, and then you can say address, and then industry is called retail. Here the education. So when you will press the submit button, it will be added, and you can see on the screen in the next slide the result you can see in the next slide. And your database contains 5 client number. Before it was nothing. In the first data, you at the first client C00 will be added, MU Bukhari. The second is 002 John Dew. Third is C000 Alice Smith. Fourth is Muhammad Khan. And the fifth client number C005 Elmi Johnson. In this way, we can add 5 here. Here I am in the mini project. We have used to add 5 records by interface. Depending on requirement, you can add more. So you have to develop mini projects on your choice by writing the same steps. You are able to do that. In the coming up in the next session, we will discuss about the modification of the client. When you insert the value in the database, when the depending requirement, the modification is there, the value has been changed, okay, the city has been changed. So at that time, the modification of the client data is there, and updation of on the client data, you can update the client data also. And then fetching of the client data. How you will fetch the data of the client data? There is a command. So by interface, you are able to fetch the data. It means if you are updating, means if you want to delete some data, records, client number has been fired, has been transferred and expired, you have to delete. So how you will delete? So in the interface, no need to memorize all the commands. You have to only, in the next session, I will discuss about how you modify the client data, how depending on requirement, you can update the client data, and how you will fetch of a client data easily. As we were wrap up today's session, I hope it will be beneficial for designing a mini project. You can, depending on the requirement, you can design your mini projects, and in other words, it will enhance your valuable insights and practical skills that is needed for database management knowledge. Thank you for your active participation, and we eagerly anticipate your presence in our upcoming lecture. Wish you a wonderful day ahead.